Hey!
Dog
Happy
first.
Halloween, everybody. It's the end of week 8 out here. That's right. Only I decided to dress up for this Halloween special.
I'm a man on the edge. What are you talking about?
As always. So, week
You gotta
8
wear this hat
happened
every
to
day?
be-
Just,
Week 8
just
happened
as
to
just
be-
like a lumberjack.
he always looks like that. But week 8 was tight end day of the NFL. Apparently, all the tight ends decided to show up. They had a nice little special holiday for all the tight ends in the NFL. Some tight ends had great weeks, coming out, having some of the best weeks of their careers even. And some of them just performing better than they usually do. And the Lions really showed us this week, though. They are a full, complete team. Not just offense heavy, not just a great defense, but their special teams going off. I mean, I think we looked it up. Jared Goff didn't even have 100 yards of passing, but still had 3 touchdowns.
83, I think is what he
83 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes. That's pretty insane. And unfortunately, the commissioner continues to disappoint us with each week as it goes by. But boys, it's week 8.
How am I disappointing
Every
you?
week he's got to throw a dagger out there.
I need something
There's
positive.
only
to
one
look
person I'm disappointing.
At. You know, I need something positive to look at because I also am not performing very well. So I need to have a win.
Infinitely better than me, man.
The total points scored says otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
points
we-
against, man. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
It keeps growing and growing.
1374, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
everybody
we-
has
but
the
we-
game of the week or the game of the year against me, man. I can't even help it.
And then once again, Andy Beatty won
Undefeated.
1-1,
They'll never lose.
Again.
We'll dive a little bit into that. But guys, week 8 is week great for some of us. What was your biggest surprise that you saw after week 8?
As far as like NFL goes, or just like in our league?
Start with NFL, and if you want to jump into like a fantasy standout that you've had.
Well, I mean, the National Tight End Day is an absolute thing. Like that is, there's no beating the bush. Like everybody and anybody who's a tight end is like circles this on the calendar every year, and they're like, "Yep, this is it." And then I think the offensive coordinators do the same thing. Like, there's no way Kyle Pitts all of a sudden has 10 targets out of nowhere. Like, what's going on? They're like, oh, it's tight end day, so let's get all of our tight ends involved. Like, and even David Montgomery is throwing to Sam Laporta because, like, well, if Goff won't do it, I'll do it for you, man. Like, that's probably my biggest takeaway. Is that thing is legit. Like, that is no joke. That is legit.
Tight end day really stood out. As someone that had both Cade Otton and Kyle Pitts, I was very happy, and I should have put one of them in the flex spot.
No one does that.
No.
On National Tight End Day, I wish all tight ends could be in my starting lineup.
I can give my opinions on National Tight End Day last because I think it's probably going to be the most provocative. So Nick or Ryan, you can go.
Well, mine was very quick, just because having Cade Otton and Kyle Pitts, I just had to kind of figure out which one I thought would do better. And with Cade Otton being one of the main targets right now, with both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin out this week, very easy pick for me to decide to go with Cade Otton. Really surprised to see the 10 targets and 2 tutties for Kyle Pitts. Had a career day. I have never seen him put up that many points or have that many touches in a game. So,
Yeah, neither did he.
Yeah.
but yeah, so mine very quick. Don't have much else to say. I was happy with it because Cade Otton delivered for me. Still came out with a loss, but Cade Otton, I appreciate you.
It
My
happens.
generation, he's gonna be my new tight end.
So mine's gotta be football related. Obviously not in our fantasy league right now, but Bo Nix over in Denver. I picked up Cortland Sutton in the offseason. Hasn't done shit. Bo Nix has finally decided that he's going to develop and turn into a pretty decent passer, and I might have swooped up a number 1 wide receiver for a 3rd-round pick this last year, and might pan out for me. So that's what I'm excited for, is to see that Denver offense if Bo Nix keeps doing what he's doing.
Well, I'll just comment real quick about the Bo Nix thing. Like, you have to expect with a lot of these rookies, like, you could clearly see when he first started off this year, they were just running that same stuff that he was kind of known for in college, all those checkdowns and whatnot. But, like, as with every single year, most of the time, I would say, not 100% of the time, a lot of the rookies, they only start off with, like, 1 or 2 pages of the playbook. And then slowly along the season, like, they just open it up even more. So you start to see those guys, like, throw different passes or look a lot better and things that they didn't see before. So that's probably what Bo Nix is doing right now.
And that's what I'm hoping for, because Cortland Sutton putting up a goose egg last week and then, like, 13 points this week is really frustrating. So hopefully we can see some consistency.
Oh, you want to? We can talk about receivers exploding after not doing anything the week previous.
We sure can.
But first, I will talk about National Tight End Day. The NFL is rigged, 100%. They support this National Tight End Day fucking agenda, and then all of a sudden we target the most tight ends ever, like the most catches, the most touchdowns, all this bullshit. Why can't they have a national Justin wins a fucking fantasy football game day, and then maybe all my players do good? Because that's all it takes. You just need to have a league mandate, and then all the players just magically perform like they haven't done anything before. Travis Kelce can suck both of my nards, man. That's bullshit. He's never put up 20 points this year, and he just randomly did it while I benched him for the first time. Like, I'm tired of this nonsense. I don't understand how they got away with this shit, and I don't understand how I haven't heard anybody else think this crap. Commercials, National Tight End Day. Hey, look at on the field. It's amazing. Really coincidental how all the tight ends are just blowing up. Like, the NFL got into everybody's playbook and said, like, let's emphasize the tight end. It makes no fucking sense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's point one.
183 catches by tight ends yesterday. 4 of them over 20 fantasy football points.
It's
and
ridiculous.
I think 2 of them are in the top 5 for scoring this week.
And I'm all for seeing scoring and everything like that too, but it's all too convenient and ridiculous. Like, it's if next week those guys don't do the same thing, it's completely rigged. It's garbage, man.
Sasha, what are you doing?
It's wet.
You really, I mean, to give you an idea for those that are listening, Travis Kelce, his best week up until this last week, from a fantasy standpoint, his best week in PPR, which were full PPR, was 12.5. He had
Which is
20
what Patrick Mahomes puts up every week.
Which we can dive into that next. But
yeah. And he put up like 20.5 points, whatever. He sucks shit.
20.5 points.
Anywho, point 2. My fantasy team continues to suck ass no matter what I try to do. I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't know why I do this to myself. Marvin Harrison did nothing last week. In fact, he made like the biggest drop and made me so furious that I couldn't even speak. And then this week, he has like his second best performance of the year.
Dude's a god.
Like catching. Oh my god. He's more frustrating than anybody that gets nothing the week before and then blows up for something. And the trick is, I might have to start him next week, and guess what he's going to do? Nothing. And I'm going to have to eat it.
You got McConkey, though. McConkey's coming around.
Yeah, but, like, I didn't draft him 1.1, dude.
Hold on. Speaking of not, like, performing, where's the camera on this thing? I need to get a close-up. Anthony Richardson, you fucking piece of shit! You lazy fuck! How are you tired?
Oh my gosh, that was okay.
That was epic.
If we don't get views this week, I don't know what's going on.
I'm going to watch
God
this guys.
dang it, dude. Unfreaking real.
I'm
You
glad
didn't
that we
check out
have.
because you're tired? You're tired? Are you kidding me? You're a quarterback. Hand off the fucking football. You have Jonathan Taylor on your team. Oh my gosh. Bench your ass. I'm so glad you're benched. And if you weren't my dynasty quarterback, you'd be off my fucking team too. God damn it, man.
Drake May's available.
God damn it.
Drake May is available for trade. He has a concussion right now, so, I mean...
Justin Herbert's available.
No, absolutely not. I've got Goff. I'm okay. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
you're fine.
I just there's no reason for this man to be as gifted as he is, to be as shitty as he is, and then for you to tap out because you scrambled around, you're a mobile quarterback. What are you fucking talking about? Like, oh my god.
This is like Mad Money. I love it.
He had to do a lot of running on that previous play.
My
He was
gosh.
tired. He just told the coach, put him in.
If I went 2 of 15 by the half, like I'd be tired too. Like,
Absolutely not.
Yeah, what was it? 2 for 15?
Yeah.
Finished 10 for 32,
Yeah.
I believe.
yeah, that's
To
pretty
be
good.
fair, to be fair, I watched that game in its entirety, and his wide receivers did not help him out at all. They were dropping passes left and right.
Downs
I
did
mean,
the
Josh
best.
Downs got 2 touchdowns, but
Yeah, 2 tutties.
No, Josh Downs only had 1 touchdown. He should have had 2, but he got his knee down at the 1 yard line, and
that's
then he
right.
ran it in with
That's
Johnson.
right, yeah.
So, yeah.
All right,
But believe me,
I'll
I hawk.
I do believe you. I do. You speak with conviction. I believe you.
Yeah, I hawk Colts game.
He's hoping for Anthony Richardson to turn it around.
Yeah, because I traded up to get the cocksucker. I traded up. Instead, I could have taken Gibbs, and I'd be fine.
Yep.
Swimming in running back depth. Swimming in it.
You would have
Swimming
picked him
in
giving up
great points,
Bijan.
especially this week. Because I think, where did Gibbs end up with?
Yeah, he had like
was like
30
close
points.
to RB1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead, I'm stuck with fucking Brees Hall, who's in the inept fucking Giants Jets offense. Who, let me get all my friends and Aaron Rodgers, and let's just continue to nosedive this organization. Like it's just
Gibbs put up 25.
so.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty all right. Yeah.
I'm done with my rant.
But
I'm
instead, DeAndre Swift put up 23.9. I mean, I'm just saying he had a running back.
I mean, Bijan did good too. He
Yeah,
had 25
I know.
points. The trade wasn't a bad trade,
No.
in my personal opinion. And I, of course, am biased in it, but like, I
Oh,
don't
you guys are
think
talking about your trade. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
there's
think
a
giving
good
up.
trade,
I don't
yeah.
think giving up all that for Bijan is necessarily a bad trade. When running back, a bell cow running back is one of the most scarce things to have in football. You know.
Yeah, dude. I'm just surprised you didn't go after Tyler Algier. That's all.
I'm surprised you didn't bundle it.
Yeah.
Should have taken a play out of Mahomes' playbook. Bundle it.
Yeah. I don't need
Shut
no
up.
Bunderisky.
Shut up. You shut your goddamn face. That is not funny.
Speaking of Patrick Mahomes,
Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, can we
Speaking
talk
of
about
great.
the lack of value that Patrick Mahomes has for fantasy owners? How many
Yes,
points
we
did he
can.
put up?
Yes, we can.
9 to 11 on average.
I don't
this year.
think. I don't think he's finished inside the top 15 at all this year, as far as fantasy quarterbacks go. I do not think so. I do not think so.
I don't believe he's even ranked
That-
in the top 20 right now.
That man is now become the definition of great regular, real football quarterback and terrible for your fantasy team. Terrible. Like, they're rookies. I think, what was, how many points did Mahomes put up?
16.
16? That's 6 shy of aforementioned Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
So, like, what are we talking about here? And that's a guy who did 10 of 32.
Didn't
And he
Bryce Young
finished-
outscore Anthony Richardson too?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, sure did. Because
So
why
if,
would he?
if Bryce Young outscores you, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, he was tired.
And to give you an idea, this is Patrick Mahomes' picture on
Yep.
Flickr right now.
Is that
Patrick Star.
Is that a ghost?
It is
Oh,
Patrick
God.
from
it's
SpongeBob.
Patrick Star.
Patrick Star.
And Patrick Mahomes is 21st in
Told you,
our-
not in the top
our
20.
leagues.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like as far as like a weekly
Oh.
basis goes. Like I don't think he's finished inside the top 15 at all this year.
Twice.
Twice.
Week
And what
one,
did he finish? Week one,
One
what
and
was
two.
he?
Week 1, he was 12. And
Okay.
week 2, he was 14.
Right. So not even top 10. Not even
Well,
top
I
10.
think
No.
also week 1, like nobody was throwing the ball. Like
Yeah.
those games were crap.
Nah, BS. Anthony Richardson had the game of his life week 1.
And he put up,
true.
and I want you to know, he was, what did you say, number 13, right? Whatever it was, number 12.
12 and
12
He
14.
put
and
up-
14.
He put up 11 fantasy football points and then 15.
Yeah.
11 got him 12, 15 got him 14. So that should show you the QB play in week 1 versus the QB play in week 2.
Yeah, but why don't you tell the fair people what the result of his bad play has gotten him?
So I started out this year with my team name being Mahomes and Company. I have Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice. My new team name is Mayfield Mayhem because I have now traded Mahomes for Justin Herbert and 2 future draft picks.
Second rounders.
2 second round future draft picks. Next year and the year after. That is what his amazing football play, but terrible fantasy football for me does. But I also, as you guys just heard, have Baker Mayfield. So
I think it's a great trade for you.
Mahomes
Getting
was,
2 seconds.
And I have Tua Tagovailoa. So
I mean, regardless of who your QB play is, for the stats we just gave, and you get 2 future first rounds or 2 future second rounds, I would do that any day that ends in Y. Anybody want Anthony Richardson for a third?
Future third?
I don't think anyone wants Anthony Richardson. You might just have
I have too many quarterbacks right now. I can't take them.
Unfortunately,
But no, man,
the best you're going to get for Anthony Richardson is a free agent.
Yeah. Is a bag of chips.
You can get a second-round pick based on like potential.
Yeah, future.
I mean, I'm gonna ride with my guy. He's my ride or die.
For sure, like you can't cut bait on him. That's what I do, and then they blow up
In
the second year.
But in redraft leagues, he's already been done cut.
Yeah,
that guy's
for
been
sure.
done.
That's just the difference between what we do and what everybody else does.
And that's the crazy thing too. Like you look at how you operate your team in a dynasty. Like someone dropped Christian. You dropped Christian Kirk, didn't you?
I sure did.
Yeah.
And
right. And then I picked him up, and then go figure he breaks his collarbone. But like,
I mean, I didn't do that. It was not my fault.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's still got that Justin curse on him.
I did draft him. He still got that stink of me on him.
But like, that's a guy like you add on the off chance that up until he broke his collarbone, I think was going to get traded. I think there was a really good chance of him getting traded. And so, like in a dynasty league, you take a flyer on a guy like that because you possibly reap rewards on him getting moved or going somewhere else future on down the road. Like one man's trash is another man's treasure, and unfortunately I just got your trash, but he'll ride my IR spot.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I like about Dynasty. Like it's just so every move counts. Like every move matters, Like it's not like you have to think long and hard about some of these trades that are coming in, some of these trades that are being proposed. Like, what are the ramifications of that? Like, I have no draft picks until the year 2030. Like, and I've got to
2027.
I've got to reap that, but I've also got draft capital to where like, am I in win now mode? Like, can I ship off a draft pick to get some piece that I need, like it's just, I love dynasty leagues. I want to be in more of them. I want every draft.
I don't mind redrafts. They're fun in their own right, but they also give you a good gauge on like who's hot at the moment too.
Yep.
So, I mean, Dynasty is a lot of fun. It's very strategic.
And piggybacking off of what my brother just said, how do you guys view trades? So I was just bombarded with four different trade offers for a specific player, all for the same player, different offers, all for the same player. And I doubt I'm going to take any of them, but I struggle with finding what the value is for the player that I'm either putting up on the trade block or trying to get from somebody.
How vague. Does that player drink out of a cup, maybe?
Yes.
Huh. What?
Yes, he does.
Oh, the Cooper.
It happens to be a copper cup that's spelled.
And there's a possible straight up
that didn't
for a
work.
chipmunk. There's a possible straight up trade for a chipmunk. So
Ezekiel Elliott?
no, Alvin Kamara.
Oh, you said chipmunk. Ezekiel
Alvin
Elliott looks
Chipmunk.
like a chipmunk.
Ah, that's
It's
fair.
for Alvin.
I didn't think of it that way.
I mean, he looks more like an Ewok than a chipmunk.
I thought Alvin and the Chipmunks, but the straight up trade. Like I don't know
It's
how
Super
to value
Camario,
that.
man. Like, that's what they call
Yeah.
it.
I don't know how to value that. Like I've got one person saying that's a terrible trade for me because Kupp should be better long term than Kamara. But Kamara doing what he's doing right now, he's a running back. So you get every point he catches, every rush yard he gets, every touchdown, whether he catches it, rushes it. I mean, it's a dual threat. So how is the
only problem with that is look at the Saints offense without Derek Carr.
He's not going to be out forever.
We don't know that.
I mean, he's not out forever.
I'm not right, but right now Kamara is the lesser of the two assets because Kamara is very quarterback needy. Whereas Cooper Kupp, you can have Anthony Richardson come in there and throw for him, and he'd still put up points. You know, like
I don't know about that.
He'd watch the ball sail over his head and all sorts of fun stuff.
Or hit him in the shoes. One of the two.
So I'm just saying, like Cooper Kupp is more like QB proof, whereas Kamara is proven to be not as QB proof.
Yeah, and I think it also depends on what you're gonna. At least for me, my biggest thing that I look for in trades is like, what are my priorities right now? So, like for example, my Tank Bigsby trade, Tank Bigsby trade that I made. So I went and traded. So Matt and I did. I got Terry McLaurin, Tank Bigsby, and then I gave him. It was Tony Pollard and first round.
Not your game-winning Tony Pollard. You fuck.
It sure was. It sure was.
You just needed him for that. That was
it. But to me, what made that okay was I was going to be using that first round pick for a running back. And what I kind of saw was that's almost straight up because I'm giving him what I was going to get, and I give him what I feel is fair compensation for his rookie running back.
So you got a first?
He got Tank.
No,
and
he got Tank and McLaurin, and he gave away Pollard and a first.
See, I think so. Basically, you gave him a first.
He gave him his first back.
I gave Matt his first back that I had.
Yeah, but I mean, that's very true because Tank Bigsby is outperforming ETN right now.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
The way I looked at that is that you gave up a first basically because Tony Pollard's like, I mean, he's great. He's an RB3 with RB2 upside, you know, like, but you gave up the first to get two players, which is pretty big in my opinion, you know, and one with a really good young quarterback for years to come, and Terry McLaurin.
Yep. For however long McLaurin's going to play, because he is 29.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, he's got at least 3 years.
Yeah, he's got at least 3 years still. I'm not too worried.
He's tied to the best quarterback on the planet, so he's fine.
Right, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Rookie of
the year quarterback right now.
Whoa. Cool. Like, it's just what RG3 did, too, but I mean, we'll see how that goes.
Very true. It's very true.
Ugh. Is it going to be the Washington curse?
No, it's going to be
he'll be fine. As long as I don't believe in him, he'll be fine.
That's a good point. Don't ever root for him. Don't grab him.
I'm gonna start rooting for DeAndre Swift and acknowledging him as a good player and watch his back just explode out of his asshole.
Can we? I feel like Caleb Williams. He's gotten a lot better. I will say he has gotten better.
Yeah, he's fine.
But I'm also getting the vibe. DeAndre Swift, I feel like, is literally and figuratively carrying the offense for them. Like Caleb Williams.
DJ Moore didn't do shit this last week. So, I mean, I think he got me like 3 fantasy football points.
Yeah, but Washington has a pretty decent,
absolutely
up-and-coming defense.
But that's what he's saying is DeAndre Swift kept them in that game.
Yeah.
Well, I would say DeAndre Swift has kept them in a lot of games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's put up 20-plus, I think, in the last 4 games. Yeah, so he's tearing it up.
His name. That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyone listening out there, whatever
if you have a player out there that you want to get off the schneid, send us an email and I'll go ahead and publicly blast them. And they'll be MVP of the league.
If you want to really do well.
Don't let me talk about your player, because I talked about Derek Carr finally finding a home in New Orleans and he gets hurt. So
sure did.
Yeah, and I disagreed with that take.
Sure did. Don't let me fucking talk about your guys.
And what's funny enough is after you said that, I picked him up.
Smooth.
I dropped
the old okey doke.
I'd drop Geno for him.
Wow. I'm sure Geno's still out there, though.
Yeah, that's not a good move. No.
Geno leads the league in passing yards.
Does he really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not for long. Famous
Baker's
Jameis
got to
is
be up there with him,
that.
too, right?
Well, famous Jameis is going to try to make an attempt to come
You
up
throw
with
300 a game, baby. It's going to lead the league in
330 for
interceptions and touchdowns.
30 for 30.
I've never seen it before, and I'll never see it again. That was the craziest year.
What are we seeing, Ryan?
So, Geno Smith, number 1 in passing yards. Baker 2. To get to Patrick Mahomes, you have to go all the way down to 15.
Guys, see what I'm saying? Like,
Kyler Murray is right behind him.
Fantasy,
hell yeah.
great real life player, terrible fantasy player now.
I'm just
And maybe
I'm
that
just
changes.
going to
Maybe
say
that
that his
changes.
bad performance is this year. I'm not going to say going forward.
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair.
Look
I mean,
look at his fantasy numbers last year.
They were
He
decent
had a
last
bad year for sure, but they did turn it on in the second half. That's that's my point. Like,
Yeah.
because Kelsey, he spent the first 11 weeks dragging his butthole all across my team. And then from then on, he just started scoring points for some reason. He didn't do as well as Njoku, who lit it up because the magic of Flacco.
Flacco!
The man, the myth, the legend, Joe Flacco, still on a team, and he's going to turn the Colts season around now.
He sure is.
100%. All of those
Famous-
receivers are now viable.
I elevated Josh Downs from my taxi squad because of it. I was like, hell yeah.
I mean, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Well,
there's
they had
the
to do
truth.
something. Christian Kirk got hurt.
Wow. I mean,
It's fair.
yeah. Speaking of Christian Kirk getting hurt, how about more and more and more and more injuries? Like, good Christ, man. Good Christ.
Well, let's see.
See, and injuries
How
are
many
not
just
went out?
Like
Diggs
the
went out
receiver-
for ACL. Christian Kirk went out, broken collarbone. You had
Those
Drake
two.
May, concussion.
Again? No, that was
Yeah.
the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas,
Brian
Chest.
Thomas left with a chest injury.
Gabe Davis,
Tracy
shoulder.
Tracy left last night's game with a head injury.
He
Like,
left the
it's
field twice. He went to the blue
Yeah,
tent twice.
Right. Didn't learn his
He
lesson
still
the
had
first
like
time.
170 yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean, at what cost though? You know, like it's
I mean, obviously his well-being when he gets older.
Yeah.
it's nuts how many injuries are happening every freaking week. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's big injuries. It's not like, oh, he's out for a week. It's it's 2 to 3 weeks or longer or season ending.
Collarbone,
And it's big
ACL.
these
Yeah,
aren't
like
these
season
aren't
ending.
regular guys that you don't hear about. These are stars out.
Oh, another
4 to 6
injury.
weeks.
Another injury. JOK.
Oh yeah, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
He
Yeah.
just got released from the hospital yesterday.
Yeah, immobilized.
Still don't know what the extent of the injury is.
He got Ryan Shazier.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can move though.
Yeah. He can do this.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get there and Ric Flair walk at the Hall of Fame or something, but we'll see.
I think you already mentioned it, but Stephon Diggs out for the rest of the season.
ACL.
Yep.
So he's out for season. There goes another wide receiver for me.
Go Tank Dell. He's the only game in town.
Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Nico Collins should be coming back in a week or two, but we'll see. Who else
gonna
was
catch,
there?
20
We already
balls a game
mentioned
now.
Drake May. Chris Olave was evaluated for a concussion. Darius Slay with the Eagles. If you are in an IDP league like us, that actually does matter because we play individual defensive players, and so we do also look at defensive.
Jameson Williams is going to be suspended 2 games for another stupid thing that he did.
Yeah, I'm hearing gun charges. I'm like, dude.
Oh, he's
the
getting
F?
suspended again after
Well-
his gambling.
No, so
Yeah,
he's
it's like
they're
2
gonna
game
keep-
suspension coming up.
well. This will be his second game for the PEDs.
Oh,
But there was just an arrest warrant issued because of
Oh,
gun
yeah.
charge for being
Right.
having a concealed weapon. I'm like, dude, what in the world? Like, I know Detroit's a shit. Like, I know Detroit, you got to stay strapped, but, like, damn, man, like, at least have it brandished already. Like,
There's
why you
nobody
gotta-
there to shoot. They've abandoned Detroit, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I haven't abandoned Detroit. Have you seen how many Lions fans are coming out of the woodworks?
They're driving in from other places, man. From Battle Creek and all those other locations. They're not coming in from Detroit.
Fans
Like,
everywhere. Detroit has fans everywhere. Not just Detroit. I mean, I feel like Detroit is almost America's team. I mean, fuck the Cowboys. It's Detroit.
I wish that were the case. It should be. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Rather than fucking,
Just 'cause
like,
you said that.
assholes
just
who
'cause you
pretend
said
like
that.
it's 1816 and wear cowboy hats and put on shit-kicking boots. We'd rather endorse a team that, like, America's heartland and that, like, who built fucking Ford, like, vehicles, like, Americana kind of shit. They built
We gotta
muscle
be careful.
cars
Jerry
that
Jones is
fucking
gonna
built
cancel
America.
it.
Like, even though, like, Henry Ford was an asshole, like, Nazi sympathizer, but I mean, that's whatever.
It was the 30s, different time.
Of course. Who's to say I wouldn't be in that time? I mean, I probably wouldn't because I don't like.
All right, clip that. He said it. Clip that.
I mean, you can edit that to make me sound like a Nazi. I don't care. Like,
See, but that
my life
requires
couldn't
a
get any more pathetic. I don't give a shit.
Hey, that requires a lot of effort. I just hit upload. But yeah, we went over some injuries. I mean, let's see if there's any other. Sterling Shepard went down again. For those that care about the Bucks and their receiving, just catastrophe.
See, I really thought they
I
were
do.
going to go get Deontay. I thought they were going to go get Deontay Johnson.
Which
I mean, where does he
good little
fit, though?
segue right there. It's going into some trades and the trade deadline coming up. Confirmed today, Deontay Johnson to the Ravens.
Yeah, big
What does
whoop.
that
And
look like?
I'll take away.
it means Lamar Jackson's going to throw incomplete passes in his direction. Like,
Well, I guarantee you Deontay Johnson doesn't drop a wide open pass like, oh my gosh, what the heck's that dude's name? Rashad Bateman. Yeah. Hit him right square in the chest. Right square in the chest. Dink. Dude looked like Brucey out there.
It was, I mean, the entire Baltimore team couldn't catch a ball. I watched Kyle Hamilton drop a ball that landed in his
Also true. Also
Yeah,
true.
man. That's a
What's
Jameis
funny
special,
enough-
baby. You got to catch
What's
those.
funny enough, that next play after Kyle Hamilton dropped that interception, game-winning touchdown.
The
Yep.
same play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit deeper.
Yep. I watch that
Same
kind of
play, a
thing
little
on
bit
the
deeper.
Cardinals all the time.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah,
Cedric
it
Tillman,
was-
baby. Next best.
Yeah.
As someone that had Kyle Hamilton, he was having an amazing defensive game. Holy smokes, that guy!
One of the best safeties in the game.
He's up there.
And he was having a great game. He had, I think I got 16 or 17 points from him, and second to last play of him on the defensive side of the ball drops that.
That's
From
at least
a
a pass
fantasy
defended,
owner,
isn't it?
What's that?
Yeah, it's still 2
You
points.
still get like a pass defended. You
Still
get
got
1
pass
point.
deflection. Still got the pass defended.
one,
pass
yeah.
deflection.
Yeah. It's just not a full interception thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
It's not 2 points. Greedy.
Instead of 1. Ooh.
Yeah, greedy bastard.
Hey,
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't
Did you
think I
win?
broke in 150.
Did you win this week?
No.
Oh,
I don't think any of us won this week.
I did. I put up 202.
No one asked you, Nick. Fuck you.
He did. He said, I think we all lost this
Shut
week.
up. I didn't hear shit. Shut up.
Which that's also something I wanted to bring up. Our game of the week this week, and within our fantasy league, 1 versus 2, Kyle versus Andy.
Nope.
1 versus
Scott
2.
versus Andy.
Nope. Scott versus Andy. Gotta edit that.
Is that what I say? I thought I said Scott versus
You
Andy.
said
Said
Kyle.
Kyle.
Oh, sorry. Definitely meant Scott versus Andy. Definitely meant those two. Scott versus Andy. 1 versus 2. And they put up some absolutely atrocious numbers.
That
Dog
Weez-
shit.
That
Yeah,
Weez
that's what happened.
fuck stays undefeated again. I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen a more golden horseshoe stuck so far up someone's ass than Andy's
For
this
sure.
year.
Well,
I
it's
agree.
because we aren't doing our due diligence and just scoring points. I mean, you put up 160, you'll beat Andy. I know he's put up the most.
Not true,
points-
mother. Not true.
Wait a minute, yeah.
Nobody asked
Guess who
you.
did exactly what you just said last week? All you gotta do is put up 160. How hard could that
Yes,
be?
but you,
It's pretty
but
damn
you-
hard.
But you were the closest out of anybody.
Yeah. That just means
And
I'm
had
more
Marvin
competitive than the rest of
Jr.
you motherfuckers, and I'm
Had
down on the
Marvin
bottom at number
Harrison
10.
Jr. Yeah, had Marvin Harrison Jr. not been a piece of shit and dropped that pass,
Yeah.
you would have
No,
won.
what would have
With the
happened is I would have
yardage
lost by stat correction the next day.
No, because you would have gotten the yardage for it too. So
Eh.
it'd been close.
I don't want to talk about stat corrections.
Speaking of stat corrections, there is a stat that was aired two weeks ago, 3
Yeah.
weeks ago. Last time he was on the podcast,
back when my team was good. Now my team sucks
when he
again.
beat me
I
and
mean, it's all been bad, so I don't remember.
claimed the highest scoring overall. Due to stat corrections, I am still hold the record by 0.05.
I mean, good thing. I would have forgotten if you hadn't brought it up like every 4 goddamn days. Like,
What stat correction was it? That's a
I have
pretty
no
big
idea.
jump.
no, he went down like a
He went
certain
down
amount of
point.
points or something, so he didn't
Yeah, no,
beat
don't
Nick's
know.
that's a big
high
jump to go
score.
down.
Yeah, I went down almost like 2 points.
That's got to be like tackles or something, because that's really the only thing that ever gets
Probably.
adjusted so much.
So
He went down by half a point, and it was because
That's half a tackle.
Thompson, we faced each other last week or the week
no,
before?
the week before.
Oh.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, he lost a full point, but gained a half a point to Dotson, and Jay Petrie, he lost an assisted tackle, so he lost a total of a point.
All kinds of fuckery going on.
Yeah, that's a
Weird.
buggery right there.
It sure is. Like, who goes and looks at tackles and half tackles and all that other
I would if you paid me.
F that noise, bro. That's just bullshit.
Stat nerds that like aren't
Yeah.
good enough to make up stats for baseball. They do this for football.
I think Nick made some phone calls. Is what I think.
He doesn't know anybody.
Directly.
Yeah.
Called his connections in Goodell's office, like, "Hey, motherfucker, you got to fix this."
And by the way, I have this idea for tight ends in a few weeks too.
Uh-oh.
And by the way, in 2 weeks, call it tight end day.
Yeah.
That's been okay, Ryan. That's been a thing for like 3 years now.
No, it has. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just
Yeah.
2018, but yeah, I only learned about it last year.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah,
George Kittle
I
got
really
his
learned
ugly
about it
face on the
last year.
TV and said it.
Yep. It's National Tight End Day.
Yeah.
Cool, you can make up your own holidays. Right
Yeah,
on.
hey, I don't give a damn.
This is
One
blowjob
money.
and back rub day. Woo!
I don't care. One me money, man.
Oh.
If we can make up holidays, why not?
Wide Receiver Day. When's National Wide Receiver Day? Is that every week?
Never.
Like,
That's every week.
why do the
Depends
tight
on the
end-
receiver you have.
Because the tight end is a forgotten position in the NFL. Like,
If you have Marvin Harrison, National Wide Receiver Day is every third week.
yeah,
How
And
does
so you
21
just play him in 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So don't play him this week. Don't play him next
Right.
week.
Play him
I
in the gap.
love how fucking sure of yourselves you guys are when you tell me when I should start Marvin
You know,
Harrison.
I'm not
I
a
love
sports
it.
betting guy. I don't even have like any sportsbook apps. I don't have an account on anything. I will.
I mean,
make
I'm
an
just,
account.
I'm so filled with your confidence on this subject. Like,
We're trying
you
to
guys
lift
know
up.
so much more than I do about when to start my player, because I clearly don't understand what to do.
Hey, all I
I'll tell
know
you-
is
I'll tell
just
you
be
what,
excited. You're gonna get 1-1 again next year.
I'll tell you what. I'll take them off your hands.
I'll take
man.
it.
That way you don't have any burden. You don't have to worry about when to start them, when to not to.
I already had the opportunity to trade him, and I didn't. So
I'll take that burden from you. It is a humble burden that I'll try to take from you. Just give me your pain, man. Let me have it.
wow, how like would you just is that out of the
That was-
Bible?
That was scripted.
What would Jesus do? Like,
He would reverse that.
way to fall on the sword for me. Holy shit, Joe.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I don't like see you down in the dumps, man. I'm trying to.
Oh, I'm fine. Nothing matters, man. Like, it's totally
Let me
cool.
give you a player who plays every day. Let me give you a player who plays.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I'd rather just take it up the butt every week like I do.
I mean, Joe doesn't have any picks to trade though. At least for the
I
next-
wouldn't. I told him I'd give him players. Anthony.
Yeah,
Richardson.
no, I mean, we already had this opportunity to trade in the offseason.
Anthony.
I could have
Richardson.
traded the 1.1 for Bijan or Brees earlier, like, before the draft. Like,
I gave you that option. I was like, you pick one. I got.
I
it,
know.
You pick.
I guarantee you. it's probably
and
Spawn
by
Football.
consensus, I made the wrong decision. And I agree. I probably did make the wrong decision. And this is what I get.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
See, but the
Routinely
issue
stomped
is,
in the balls.
If you did make that trade, Marvin Harrison would be having like the best rookie.
Oh yeah,
Even
fancy setting rookie
For sure.
records, shit like
For
that.
sure.
Beating freaking rookie records left and right if you gave him up. So
I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
we'll see.
I don't fucking know. It's frustrating.
But with the trade deadline, I know we kind of got a little off topic there. With the trade deadline coming up, is there any big trades? So, like we kind of talked a little bit about earlier, Deontay Johnson confirmed to the Ravens. That's big for,
It's not. It's
not huge for really anybody.
I am
It's not really that
Deontay,
big,
I
but-
am the Deontay Johnson owner, and I'm not thrilled about it. Like, they are a run-first team, and they hardly throw the ball as it is, and they already have weapons over there to be throwing too. So, like, what? Lamar Jackson throws 20 balls a game, maybe on average, and Rashad Bateman gets about like 5. Zay Flowers gets 10. Andrews and likely maybe get the other 5. Like,
Yeah,
so where does Deontay Johnson fit in? Like, it's one of those things where it's going to benefit in real life, but not necessarily fantasy. And I'm kind of upset about it.
That's a good point.
So to hopefully help heal some of his offense to it, Lamar Jackson 273, 247, 182, 156, 348, 323, 281, 289. 1 touchdown, 1, 1, 2, 4, 1, 5, 2. So he's still chucking the ball.
Look, I'm not saying that he isn't not throwing, but they're a run first offense. That's what they're known for, and how many of those yardages are off of broken plays? Like, I went down in Tampa and watched that game where Rashad Bateman had 120 plus yards receiving, and they were on 3 catches because he broke 3 long bombs. It's just one of those things where oh my God, this is the kind of game we needed. Hopefully this wakes us up for the rest of the series. Sorry, in the middle of watching the World Series, but so no, like, it's a run first team. I'm not a fan of the trade. I think it's a great real life trade, but as far as fantasy goes, I was disappointed. I wanted him to go to a passer heavy, like maybe a team like the Chargers or Buccaneers, who lost both their pass catchers as like a one person, like a 1-year rental. But as far as like fantasy trades go, I mean, I think it all just depends upon team. Like, where you think your team is at in the standings, and where you see your team considering its production. Like, well, yeah.
Number 10. I know where I am in the standings.
But no, like, me, I'm on the verge of being pretty aggressive, like giving up whatever last little bit of draft capital I can get to maybe try and get another wide receiver, because I think that with Goff at my quarterback, my 2 running backs are pretty decent, on paper anyway, like Bijan and Brees. And I feel like I'm just like one extra wide receiver away from like kind of taking that next step into being like a legit contender, as opposed to being on the outside looking in like a fringe, 8 seed,
Yeah.
So that's.
I would kill.
I love trade deadlines, and I like making deals, but it's in this league in particular, like, it's just so tight. It's so tight. Like, the records, like 3 or 4 teams are all 4-4. Like, it's almost like real life. Like, who's a buyer and who's a seller? Like, you don't know. And then people's asking prices for certain players are just through the roof. You try and throw a feeler out, and then they come back and they want, I want all your draft picks and then your best, running back. Like, come on, man. Like, don't be a schmuck. Like, be real.
But if he's not up for sale, just say it. Hey, I'm not gonna give it. Don't come out with. I've seen so many dumb trades. When I put Cooper Kupp on the trade block just to see what people ranked his value, people were offering me 3rd round draft picks, 2nd round future, not next year, the year after that draft pick for it.
Look, man, some people, that's all we've got. All right.
You were one of them. Because you don't have next year's draft
I don't.
pick.
I've got 2 years from now.
Yeah.
That people was Andy. Andy doesn't know how to fucking process trades.
I know. Believe me. Scott did one too. They did the same offer.
Well,
I know how.
I mean, I was with you last night. I saw you reject them 4 times. Like,
I know.
He sent me 4 more today.
I know Andy's traits. They're one of those ones where like, hey, what do you want for your 3rd string wide receiver? Oh, I want your 1st and your 2nd left nut. Like, come on, bro. Like, what the like, relax.
if you deem it viable, would you please name your firstborn after me?
Right, exactly. Like,
that kind of
chill,
shit.
bro.
Yo, he's ridiculous. I should be selling all
That
my
might be a
fucking
good
players
rivalry
right now.
week, though. Name your firstborn child.
Yeah.
Hilarious if that were the case.
That would be nuts.
I would
I
finally get somebody to actually name their kid Bandit, like I've been trying to do for like 6 years. Girl or boy, doesn't matter. Bandit.
My wife would kill me if I had to name my son after Andy or like whatever he deemed fit, you know? Yeah.
It'd be like DeBrickashaw Ferguson and Stumper or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before we kind of jump in, we have about 15, 20 minutes left here.
Or little DeBrickashaw.
Is there any trade deadlines in the actual NFL that you're looking for, or any predictions? Let's do a prediction. Any predictions you guys have? We'll just do one. Just do one. I know we probably have 3 or 4, but just do one prediction that you feel like will happen by deadline.
Ooh, let's see.
What we feel like or what we think might happen, like a shock.
Yeah, like just like it could be either or. Like
I think T. Higgins gets moved.
Man, that'd be tough.
T. Higgins, he hasn't agreed to a contract extension, and do they have the money to pay him what they want? You know, like I think you could get a pretty good haul for a wide receiver who's still yet to be in his prime for another team like that.
Yeah, but that's what they were talking about in the offseason. Like, what's the market for T. Higgins? Are they going to trade him this season? They haven't done it. And a fun fact about the Bengals is that whenever T. Higgins doesn't play, they fucking play like shit and they lose.
Weird.
So they need him. Like, that's the most troubling thing. Like, can they afford to cut him? Maybe. I don't know. They're not a championship contender. So I mean, there's a potential market for him. But I mean, where can you see T. Higgins going?
Yeah. Chargers.
Well, if and
Matt McConkey, fuck you.
This is the thing, right? If I'm making a trade for T. Higgins, it's not about what T. Higgins wants. So if I'm the Patriots, I need a stud wide receiver to go with my quarterback. Go get me T. Higgins. And they've got the cap space to pay him. Or you want a team who doesn't do shit but always wants to be America's team, have the Cowboys go get him and see if they can boost that offense somehow. You know, as a 1-year rental. I could easily see Jerry Jones making that. No, get your Steelers shit out of here. The Bengals
George Pickens. That's all I've got.
Okay, but the Bengals,
and he can't even get 2 feet down. So
you didn't know we
the
got
Bengals,
Patrick.
And that was a free agency, not a trade. Yeah, the Bengals will never trade in a division. But that's who I think, and I know there's no sources to that, but I would love to see T. Higgins get moved because he's always second fiddle in that offense. I would love to see what he can be like as the dog.
Interesting. Let's see.
I mean, there's one blatantly obvious one, and it's the Lions. I mean, everyone's waiting for the Lions to make their announcement. I don't think it's Max Crosby, though. I really don't think it is. I think it's another high. I could see it being even a Myles Garrett, but no.
I don't think neither
so
one
much
of those
bigger.
players are leaving. Neither one of those players are leaving. I don't think the Raiders will get rid of Crosby, and I don't think the Browns will get rid of their one of their better defensive players.
Maybe, but I mean, this is what you would
Well,
like
especially
to
with
see.
JOK going out, I definitely don't see them moving
Yeah,
Myles
that's a
Garrett.
good point. After seeing him go down, they're definitely not trying to.
Because they're
get
going to need that. They're going to need something right there.
Yeah.
Dude, for somebody who's
Or-
followed the Cleveland linebackers for years, like, they have depth at linebacker. They should
Do
be
they?
okay. JOK didn't play like a high percentage. Like, he didn't play like 90% defensive snaps like you might think, but like he's like
just put up the numbers when
he's like a 60 to 75% snap share on defense, so that's somebody that gets like rotated in and out. So they should be fine. I mean, why hurt your defensive line because you lost somebody in your linebacker core? That's that old saying, cut it off your nose to spite your face. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
But yeah, we're all just kind of waiting for it. I mean, Jason Campbell even kind of teased it a little bit at his press conferences. It's just a matter of...
Jason Campbell?
Sorry, Dan Campbell.
The old black quarterback for Washington.
I had Jason Campbell, the old quarterback, stuck in my head.
Yeah, I was like...
No judgment here, dude. I'm getting old, and my brain is taking a dump during the games, because I always call out old players when I mean players that are right in front of me and I don't remember their names.
Yeah, I mean, I got like 4 hours of sleep last night, so...
Same. I get it.
But yeah, Dan Campbell has teased it a little bit at his pressers, and so it's just a matter of when and who. Yeah, I think it'll be on the defensive side. They don't need anyone on the offensive side. It's going to be someone on defense to help with the Aiden Hutchinson.
I don't think so, though. I mean, look what they just did in this last game. I know that they weren't really playing anybody,
It's
but
the Titans. Relax.
Yeah, dude.
I know that they were Mason Rudolph, but I mean, they're still winning games. They're
They're still winning game. Game 1.
Well, he only got hurt 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
But yeah, last week. So I mean,
What? Aiden Hutchinson's been out for like 3 weeks now, hasn't he?
No, I thought you were
like,
talking about... Never mind.
oh
Yeah.
no,
I'm
We're talking
intoxicated.
about the Lions defense.
I'm intoxicated. Don't worry about me. See, I told you my brain's going to shit.
Yeah.
remember?
I would also like to see the Cardinals make a move on a real personal note. Go get somebody for defense. Would be nice. I know it's not like I don't want a big splashy name or anything like that, but give me somebody. Give me somebody.
As also a Cardinals fan, I don't think they're going to be... They're not, like, strong enough to be buyers, and they're not weak enough to be sellers right now. So that's
Right.
a real... Like, they're barely 500, and they're at the top of the division somehow.
What?
So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
they're tied for top right now, yeah.
It's
I think,
ridiculous.
did they take over number 1 with
Yeah.
Seattle losing?
Yes.
Yeah, because we have more division wins.
'Cause they have
Cardinals to the moon.
Not to the moon. We barely get to the atmosphere, man.
I don't know if our offense keeps playing the way we did against Miami. Sky's the limit.
I mean, they could also play the way we played against Washington. And
Hey, listen, man. Shush.
it's my job to play both sides. I can't be overly optimistic.
Yeah, but was that
Not all
offense or was that
sunshine.
defense? Yeah, but was that offense or was that defense?
It was both. Their defense stifled us for some reason.
Yeah.
And
Seems to be doing that to a lot of teams.
Yeah, well, whatever. They got that Andy unicorn fucking horseshoe up their butt.
They sure do after that pass. Good Lord, that
No
Hail
kidding.
Mary.
No kidding. Well, all it takes is some dude turning around, not watching the play, cussing out the fans, and then not swatting the ball down.
He was the guy that swatted it.
Yeah,
No, he didn't
you
swat
hit
it. He booped it up.
You hit
He
it
volleyballed it.
down,
He said-
not up. Always down. John Madden taught me that in Madden 08. That's ridiculous.
It reminded me of the one that AJ Green caught many some odd years ago when he was in Cincinnati.
Oh.
The ball was tipped and he caught it in the back
He
corner.
just stood there and just was like,
Yeah. Yep. I've got a football in my hands. Yay.
It reminded me a little bit about I think it was Jacksonville in Tennessee when Garrard was around.
Oh wow.
Crohn's, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the guy
Sky Rizzy.
Instead of batting it down, he pushed it forward into the guy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
probably
remember
like
that was like
Ernest
2000.
Jones or some Matt Jones or some stupid Jones receiver.
When
on
was
the team.
that? Like 2006?
It's been a long time. Used to watch
know,
those
really
back
long
when I
ago.
was of college age, and that was many years ago.
But any surprise trades or any predictions we have for trade deadline coming up?
I can't think of a specific player off the top of my head. I would like to say Alvin Kamara, but I don't think they would trade him. Cowboys
I would
going
love
after a
to-
running back.
I was just gonna say that, man.
I think the Cowboys. I mean, if Blake was here, he would thoroughly disagree because he knows that Jerry Jones is a complete douche and he doesn't live on this planet mentally anymore. So he would just not want to invest in a position that they desperately need. They also need a second wide receiver too because they're like hurting in the worst way.
Yeah.
In the worst way. Yeah.
But I would like to see them trade for a running back somehow. I mean, perfect scenario, like what I would like to see, Tyler Algier get traded to the Dallas Cowboys and watch him just
Never
be
happened.
like, he'll be amazing.
I would love to see that.
Would love
I
to
bet
see
you
it.
would.
As a Tyler Algier owner,
Sure would.
that's
and
the whole reason.
as a Bijan owner, I'd never get back again.
That's the whole reason I still have him.
It's win-win, man. It's win-win.
Yeah.
Sure is for the greater good. Come
Well,
on.
that was like Ryan winning on the D-Hop trade.
Yep.
I
We
mean,
didn't even talk about that.
we did last week.
Oh, that's
Or we
right.
talked about
That's
moving
right.
and how he
That's
would
right.
capitalize on
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, which funny enough, even with D Hop going to Kansas City, it paid for me better to have Calvin than it was to have D Hop.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, D-Hop was taking all of Calvin's juice, so that's why. Now you see.
Well, if we
Yeah.
remember correctly, it didn't pay off at all because you didn't start Calvin Ridley.
I did not start
Yeah.
Calvin. Like, oh,
I mean, like the game of his life this
That's
year.
just-
You can't say that it paid off.
That's just stupid.
You can't say that it paid off if you didn't start him.
That's just
well, it paid off in a way that like I've noticed it. Now I know to start him, especially with Stephon Diggs out the rest of the season.
That's just foolishness. You
Yeah.
always.
It wouldn't have mattered either way. I still would have lost. Even if I played him, I still would have lost.
I know that feeling.
And as far as like, do you see any any of y'all trying to like Justin? You're in last place. Like, are you trying to sell off some talent to maybe acquire more fantasy assets? You know, more draft capital or anything like that? Like,
Or is it
Um,
rebuild?
or are you just
I
staying
mean,
pat, picking up the Cooper?
I
and
don't. Currently, my issue is running backs, like, and also my receivers performing inconsistently.
Yeah,
That's a huge problem of mine right now. That I don't know how to fix. So, and it's not like I have a lot of the because like I dumped Christian Kirk, and because I wanted to pick up Rashad Jennings, because he's going to be like very valuable going forward the rest of this
especially
year.
not you. Yep.
Exactly. But beyond this year, I have no idea what that's going to do. I should be a seller right now, but like, what do I want to sell? Like a lot of the guys that I have that I
Are
want
you?
to sell, or like they're not worth anything. Like I still have Keenan Allen, which I shouldn't because he's just like whatever.
He's just a placeholder.
He really is. Just because he's only in Chicago for 1 year, he's going to go somewhere else next year. So I'm just
That was like Mike Williams at the beginning of the year for me. I still had him just as a placeholder to see what he would do with the Jets, and once I realized he wasn't going to be relevant, dump him. Keenan Allen still has those some odd weeks where he's just a little bit to keep you on the team.
Keenan Allen was like 10 times the receiver that Mike Williams ever was.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
But I have, like, I can think of 5 receivers that I have right now that I don't want to drop. And I probably have 2 others that I could trade, but they're probably not worth it. Rashad Jennings being one of them, and I think probably Allen is the other one. Because I have Jefferson. I'm not trading him.
Which you obviously keep that unless you get equivalent.
Yeah, Scott always like says you should trade Jefferson to me because you like to bitch about your players. I'm like, well, you can shut the fuck up, maybe. Fucking
I'll bitch
weaseling in
about him
on
for
me
you.
like a goddamn fucking God. It's frustrating, is what it is. Well, you said you don't like him because I have to blow my players for me to want to have him on my team.
And I mean, if Scott wants Jefferson so bad, he's gonna have to give up like
A Bijan package.
it
Yeah,
would
but he
have to be
doesn't
like
have a Bijan.
Flowers. It would need to be like Zay Flowers and
No, but I'm saying, like, would you trade Jefferson for a ton of draft picks?
I don't know if I could, Like, am I going to get a Justin Jefferson with one of those picks? Probably not.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if anything, I would have oh, Marvin Harrison could have been him, and like I was lucky enough to actually get him, and he's not Justin Jefferson. I already know that. He's not even Puka Nacua.
Yeah. Still early.
Yeah.
I know it's still early, and I'm not gonna like pull the plug on him just yet. It's just frustrating dealing with his bitch ass because I drafted him like high, and he should if this was redraft, I would have been blowing my brains out a long time ago, man. Because he went in the first round in a lot of drafts.
Oh yeah, back end first round, early second.
Yeah, and that's too much draft capital for that piece of shit. But no, I can't think of anything that I would be willing to part with that's worth a shit. Obviously, defensive players nobody's going to want because you could pick up somebody off the scrap heap and probably be serviceable. My tight ends are both old, so they're not really valuable. They're not one of these young hot studs.
That's true.
Kelsey's been on the block for a while, but he's 34 years old. There's no real reason for me to even have him on there because he's not going anywhere. I'm not trading Josh Allen because he's the best. He's my favorite quarterback. But
it's not a sweep.
Good night, Pops.
Nice. At least that part. Woke the giant.
Later, Graham Cracker.
But yeah, I mean, and that kind of goes into a conversation I think we had 1 or 2 weeks ago about when you just need to cut ties and when you need to start looking to just make that trade or honestly just drop.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to look at how many future draft picks you have too. Like I've got quite a few coming up in 2025. If I was in Justin, I don't know how many draft picks Justin has in this future draft right now. But I mean, if he's got a decent amount, he's got a decent amount. There's no need to sell anybody because you don't know who you're about to get in. I mean, no offense, you're 1-8. You're still in the hunt because what? Are you shitting me? We're 4-4.
1-7.
Third at 4-4.
I did lose an extra game during the podcast. Okay, 1-7. Let's not get ridiculous.
Yeah, only 1-7.
Sorry. 1-7. So I mean, you're literally 3 games behind the middle of the pack. So it's not like you're in a have to sell mode. But even if your season doesn't go the way you planned, you've got 5 picks for next year.
Yeah, but if he can add another first round next year and another first round the year after, the
ifs are always there.
But I'm just saying, you gotta look at so many things. Like so many things are going through every head, every transaction and stuff like that. It's just like Ryan said, when to hold them and when to fold them.
If I'm going to be trading something, it's probably that potential 1.1 pick that's looking like it's already fucking shaping up to be mine.
Yeah.
Because either 1.1 or 1.2 with Ryan.
If I get 1.1, I'm staring right at the Boise State running back, Ashton Genty.
I was going to say, dude.
And guess who really wants him? Probably the other guys that have multiple first-round picks. So guess what? I'm open for business. Blake has fucking 3 first-round picks. He could organize something that maybe would get him up to number 1.1.
He sure can.
Not that I would. I would probably still be.
Justin and I would just swap positions.
Probably, yeah.
Because I'm probably 2 right now.
2 and 6.
My 2 wins were I think Nikki P and
me. Yeah, one against me.
He has the lowest score.
I have the lowest points for.
Damn, you are terrible.
Yep, sure am. Hey, as I've told myself since week 2.
We have the top 3 picks right now, right here. Well, never mind.
I don't have a
never
pick.
mind.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Actually, I think I have his pick.
I think you do.
Yeah,
I think so.
But yeah, you are looking at the top 3.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Technically, we are. But
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy being down here at the bottom.
Actually, I don't have his first-round pick. I don't know who does. I have his 2026 first-round pick.
Probably Blake, dude. He's got all the other picks.
Yeah. Because if he's got 3 of them, he's probably got 1 of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one Ryan traded to Matt.
Somebody else might have traded
Matt's.
You traded Matt's pick back to him?
Yeah.
Oh, you know who I think I traded with? I think I traded with Kyle to get Anthony fucking Richardson.
I didn't see that coming, and it startled me a
with
little
that
bit.
one, let's jump into some comments that we got this week.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Let's do
go
that.
over. Let's check out. So, the poll that we had, our poll that we had over on Spotify. If you guys listen over on Spotify, we have a poll that goes up. So the poll question that we had was, where do we think Cooper Kupp will be going by the trade deadline? Because he was a big name we were talking about.
Nowhere now. Yeah.
We had staying with the Rams, the Steelers, Jets, Chargers, or anyone else, or if there's anything. We had 2 votes that put him both saying he's going to the Chargers.
Wow.
I mean, there's still that chance, but his name was very, very quiet this last week. So
I would change my vote back to staying with the Rams. Like,
I'll say
Yeah, after last week, staying with the
After
Rams.
last
Because
week,
I also voted for the Chargers. But I think after last week, the Rams is where he's staying.
yeah, me and you both.
I think he's going to be a Ram for the rest of his career.
And then he'll retire into Amish country with that stupid beard of his.
He grew up where I'm from, so don't be talking that shit.
Not related. Calm down.
Yeah.
Hey, I went and watched him play in college on the red turf over at Eastern Washington. So.
Proximity doesn't make you friends. Calm down.
He will be my friend. Surprise, bitch! There he is. He's a surprise guest. Here he is,
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
It's like, look, he's got bags of Legos for everyone.
Hey, don't be talking.
Lego sets galore.
They're not a sponsor. Shut it.
Not a sponsor. Sorry, Lego.
Oh my gosh, Lego, please give me free stuff.
So, and then over on the Spotify side, a comment that we got over on that side is, what fictional character would you elect as president? Oh, topical. Because Election Day is less than a week away, so...
Not involved.
What fictional character would you want as your
Fictional character, man.
I
Pick
know,
Thanos,
but-
and he'd be like wiping out humanity.
I think for my
Half of
character, my fictional character would be J. Jonah Jameson.
That's an awesome answer.
I love that answer for all the wrong reasons.
He's a seeker of truth, is what he is.
Exactly. Like, we just need that in our politicians nowadays. Like, no lies, just seeker of truths. Like, go get me the facts.
I know.
Even though in the MCU it was not about facts, it was just
No.
headlines.
It's a personal
I think-
vendetta.
As a comedy, as kind of like a comedic take on it, I think Happy from Iron Man would be
that would be good.
John Favreau. Just because I don't
spineless-
think anybody would take him seriously, but he would do like the laws behind the scenes. Because I mean, that's kind of what he does now. So
Yeah.
he makes sure everything functions, but nobody takes him seriously. So
Very much like the role he had in Deadpool Wolverine.
absolutely,
No, that's
He's a
not
middle
a bad
manager?
take. That is actually not
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
That's actually not bad. Mine, I'm going the anime side. I'm saying Light Yagami from Death Note.
That's hilarious.
Because for those of you that know,
Some people need to die.
Some people just need to die. He just will write your name in his book, and in 14 minutes you have a heart attack, unless he specifies how you die.
That's so
Nice.
funny.
And he's also one of the smartest people in the world, so he's already smart. I mean, what in the end of the show he goes over, like, I think he said, I can't remember the exact line, but it was something like violent crime went down 95%, crime itself went down 80%. Yeah, all just because he had a death note.
Nice.
He does like potato chips, too.
Take a potato chip and eat it. It's really fun. It's literally, he screams, I take this potato chip and eat it.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. It's
I
ridiculous.
think it was episode, 4?
I couldn't tell you.
Great
Oh,
show.
shit.
Don't watch the movie. Don't watch that live action movie on Netflix. Terrible. If you want to, it's a good
Oh.
show. But Justin, fictional character to be leader of the free world.
Oh, anime's got some good fucking questions. Comics. I did anime last time.
Yeah.
Comics, like a lot of stuff does come to mind in comics. Like, you could say Superman and just be the most lame person in the world. Like,
Eh.
truth, justice, and the American way, even though he's not goddamn American or from this planet.
Captain America.
No, Captain America is what you're looking for with that, then.
No chance I would pick Captain America. He probably still doesn't believe black people should vote.
That's probably fair.
I mean, he is from the 40s.
That's what I'm saying.
If we're going off MCU.
Exactly. I could go DCU, MCU, things like
Well,
that.
I mean, I think a good comic one would be Black Panther. T'Challa. Would be
Yeah. That'd be a good leader.
Probably, but...
Well, Justin, you have 2 seconds to make your decision.
All Might.
There you go. That's not bad. That actually is not bad. As someone that I've watched a couple episodes of My Hero, not bad.
All Might stand, and all his moves are named after, like, states in the USA.
What was his big one against United States of Smash or something?
United States of Smash is goddamn
Yeah.
right, man.
Nice.
Yeah, you punch a dude and the tornado happens. Like, I almost said Saitama, but he's not American. So.
He's not. He's actually really dumb.
Yeah, but like he's a deterrent more than anything.
That's true. And then we'll jump over. So that was it over on the Spotify side. Jump over to our YouTube side. Just the one question. What is your favorite Halloween movie or favorite movie for Halloween?
I'm biased. Nightmare Before Christmas is my all-time favorite movie. So that is my all-time favorite Halloween. And
That's my answer, so I gotta think of the second answer.
Plus, I have 2 Nightmare Before Christmas tattoos on me, so
That's true.
I mean, it's great Halloween and Christmas movie.
absolutely. It's top 5
real.
Christmas for me. Top 5 Christmas, number 1 Halloween.
I mean, Die Hard for me, but that's
We can get into that debate on a separate podcast.
that'll be later in the year when we discuss best Christmas movie, and I already have my vote
Yeah.
locked in. Die Hard 1.
We already
not
know
2.
it. It's spoiler for December.
I mean, it's the best
oh.
one. So
I can't say Nightmare Before Christmas now because you already did.
I mean, we're all in agreement that it's probably the best.
that
choice.
is definitely on the god tier level of
Yeah,
Halloween
for sure.
movies.
But like, if
I
you
mean,
were to pick a
Coco
second,
isn't bad. If we're going for another Disney movie, Coco's not bad.
is it a Halloween movie?
Yeah.
That's
Is it?
Dia
No.
de los Muertos.
Yeah, that's Day of the Dead, buddy.
Wrong holiday.
It's 2 days after.
Get fucked, man. That's wrong holiday, bro.
It's very funny.
Stuff was asked to you again.
You're gonna suck goldfish dew.
See, that's, you know,
Oh,
if
God.
we're going for like scare factor, like probably Paranormal Activities. Those ones were like pretty freaking creepy. Like watching, you know.
That's
Well,
like
all the other-
first time seeing it, definitely. But once you've seen it the first
Right,
time,
yeah.
the second watch is
The
like
first time, holy shit, man! Like the second move, and there's the second one specifically when like their whole kitchen exploded in the middle of the daytime because everything had happened all at night, and then the whole kitchen exploded. You're like, God damn,
Yeah.
bro! Like,
Yeah.
Is that the one where they turn on like the Xbox 360 lights and like she's sitting on the
that's
couch
third
the whole
one.
time?
That's the third one. But that one's
Oh.
crazy too. That one's really cool too.
No, the third one's back in time, like when they're just little girls.
Yeah, it's when it like they showed like it was like the prequel or set
Was
up
that the
everything. It's
was
like,
that the
that's-
fourth one then? Was that the fourth one?
The
Then?
fourth one was the seance one with the grandma, I thought.
There's no way two was the. Or yeah, no, you're right because the little kid had sandals. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
shook
Yeah.
everyone's hand like badass.
Yeah, I think I think in terms of this Halloween classics, you got to go the traditional Halloween series.
Yeah.
Except Halloween 2 because that has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
You mean
Uh,
H2O
Yeah.
with the
That
mask?
was a long time.
the
That was
mask.
20 years later, dude. That had Busta Rhymes in it.
Oh, sorry.
You're thinking of Halloween like Resurrection
Halloween.
or something like that. That because Buster Rhymes because that was when they did like the whole game show or something like that
Oh, I
in
don't
the
remember.
house.
I've never seen any of these movies, man. They're all garbage to me.
Because Buster Rhymes, I
Don't ever watch the second Halloween. It's terrible.
I won't.
Yeah,
Good.
don't watch the second one. But no, the Halloween just slasher movies, just from cult classics. That's up there for me. Outside of Nightmare Before Christmas, of course.
What you got, Justin?
Oh man, I suck at this. These are all my questions. I
You
came up
asked
with.
the question.
I know, and I came up with this question sitting in a parking lot waiting for my effing food to be made. Oh yeah, Halloween movies is kind of cheesy. That's why I phrased the question like that, because I didn't want to say, "What's your favorite Halloween movie?" Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I don't want to do any of that crap. What's a good scary movie?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Elm Street's good.
See, but those slasher movies aren't scary though. They're just like corny.
The very first It, I will say, the very first It with
with Tim Curry.
It's like the original
With Tim Curry.
Oh man,
with Tim Curry. I watched that for the first time when I was in high school. It made me scared of clowns.
Yeah.
Yes, for those out there, I
get it.
Clowns.
Like that. Tim Curry is responsible for a lot of people's fear of clowns, for sure.
Or just general fears in the first place.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't bother me. Ooh, fuck me. I don't even know any horror movies. Or like
The
jump scare
Saw
movies.
franchise.
Those are like, one's a
That's
good
not
psychological
gore porn.
movie, but then it just turns into gore porn, and those are just weird people to hang out with.
I'm a big fan. I like all the Saw movies, but
Like I said,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that they're scary movies.
but you could do The Shining or A Quiet Place.
Quiet.
I'll say, you know what? I'll probably say like what's widely considered like the best scary movie of all time. I'll just say The Exorcist, even though I've never seen it.
Dude, to me, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Maybe for like when the time frame when it came out would
Yeah.
scare
About
you. but
50
you watch-
years ago.
Yeah, no. I get that, but like you watch it now and you're just
We're
like,
desensitized. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
I deal with
I've
these
never-
these
I've
people.
never-
Yeah. I deal with these people at my
That's
job.
your whole day-to-day job is deal with people like that.
I was just saying
True.
that's my day-to-day work, dealing with motherfuckers like that. So there's nothing really scary about that.
Now, if you want one that is like so when my parents first met, their first date was a drive-in movie to The Omen.
Oh,
Which
Ooh,
that
Yeah.
stupid kid.
had a drive-in.
I would say you could do The Ring too. The Ring was pretty creepy back in the day too.
Ring was very creepy.
For the time, it was pretty
Yeah.
creepy. It holds
Until
nothing
like,
to this.
when the Scary Movie 3 came out, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
Scary
like
Movie
that.
2 was a parody on most of the scary movies.
Yeah.
Because the first one was based on slasher flicks. The second one was just haunted houses. Then they
The
just
Grudge.
then it went all garbage. The
Grudge.
Grudge. Yeah, but those don't even hold a candle to like the Japanese version of them. So
That's true.
That's true.
But
Yeah, apparently us
We'll
Americans
handle
can't handle that.
We
so
can't.
We'll sign off here before we start jumping down.
with their blurry parts, but
Yeah.
we can't handle the gore that they have to throw at us.
we don't have enough time for me to explain that shit to you.
Just so we don't jump too far into horror movies and all that, we'll sign off here. But anyone that's out there listening or watching us on YouTube, Spotify, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you want to leave us a comment. We love interacting with you guys. Shoot us a comment over on YouTube or Spotify. I leave a poll up on Spotify so we can interact a little bit more. If you want a long form question or you want us to look over maybe like a lineup that you have, and maybe we can offer suggestions or anything like that, shoot
I
us
can
an
turn your
email.
players into fantasy heroes by talking
Yeah,
shit
if you-
about them.
If you
Yeah,
want,
if you have somebody
if you want the Justin curse, to send us over a list of names. If we want Justin to curse out, they'll immediately 20 points for you next week.
I will fight everybody that listens to this. I will fight you.
I mean, especially Marvin Harrison Jr. Just
100%.
send us an email. We have that Gmail set up. It's desertdynastyfootball@gmail.com. It's our same username over on YouTube, Spotify. Go find us over there. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff so we can interact with you guys a little bit more. And then next week will be week 8. No, week 9. This is week 8.
9.
Week 9 next week. We'll kind of go over midway through the season, maybe halfway point, like awards and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll kind of sign off here. Thanks.
Will
for
I
hanging out.
win?
We ain't
Will
giving
I
out
win
fucking
a game? Make that the
trophies.
poll question.
Will Justin win another game for the rest of the year?
Not even that. Will I win this week? Like, that could just be an ongoing bullshit. And I can tell you right now, probably not.
That'll
I don't
be
even know
a
how you
poll
play this
question. So look out for the poll up in Spotify. Go check us out. But yeah, we'll sign off here. We'll see you guys week 9, halfway through the season.
Peace.